Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, the transfer of UHV to the A&M system takes a big leap. The Texas House made their decision. We hear the details. A coastal community is looking to strengthen its police presence, how Seadrift plans to grow its force, and what the police chief has to say about it. Plus, a case thrust into the media once again by Hollywood ends up back in a courtroom this morning.
And right now we are tracking some patchy dense fog starting to form around some part of the crossroads, but after that's said and done, the heat. Let's talk about that. Record heat is coming our way, bringing heat advisories to some part of the crossroads. All that in the weather coming up.
And the Ganado softball team looks to reach the state semifinals starting this Thursday. We hear from some of the maiden softball players ahead of their matchup coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and happy Tuesday. It's also kind of like our first real taste of summer.
That's
later
right.
This afternoon.
It feels like a July Tuesday, doesn't it?
Well, it's going to.
Yeah,
Not yet.
Yeah.
It's going to hit us around like 3 p.m.
1, 2, probably 3 p.m. this afternoon.
Oh,
You're going to be
man.
like, wow, is it July or is it mid-May right now? But not yet. Actually, this morning we are starting out quite humid, that's for sure, and that is enough for us to see a little bit of fog. You can see a little bit of it, a little light fog on the Victoria camera, whereas right now we're starting out the day at 70 degrees, and your dew point matching that, bringing humidity to 100%. But if we look at the Cuero camera, this is where it starts getting a little bit interesting. You can see we could just barely see the water tower, which is exactly 1/8 mile away from the camera. So make sure to be careful if you're hitting the roads this morning. We do have a little bit of that patchy fog. Patchy in nature, patchy meaning in some areas kind of isolated, so just be careful if you see any of that fog this morning. But I don't think we're going to have too much dense fog around the crossroads because we do have some winds sustained between 5 to 10 miles an hour, most of it in our eastern counties, which is probably why we have the lighter winds in our western counties, which is why we probably have the fog over there. So just be careful, especially in the western counties. We have those lighter winds and likely denser fog. Temperatures, though, with the winds out of the south, we're nice and warm this morning, no longer in the 50s. We're starting out the day upper 60s and low 70s. So if you're sending your kiddos out the door or if you're headed out the door, it's going to be just like it is right now, nice, warm, and humid. But in the afternoon, going to be hot and breezy. All those details coming up next.
The UHV transfer to the Texas A&M University system is on its way to the governor's desk. Senate Bill 2361 passed in the Texas House Monday in its third reading. The bill went back to the Senate to concur on a cleaned-up amendment to protect the university's funding. The bill was laid out to the House by State Representative District 30 A.J. Louderback on April 15th and has already passed the Senate. The transfer will begin on June 1st with the official transfer complete on September 1st. Big changes are underway at the Victoria County Fire Marshal's office starting right at the top. County leaders are working on restructuring how operations are handled between the Fire Marshal's office and the airport during the transition. Marshall Frazier, currently the Airport Operations and Maintenance Director and a former Assistant Fire Marshal, will step in as the interim County Fire Marshal.
I'll be acting as interim fire marshal until a suitable replacement is found, and I'm also the director of operations and maintenance for the airport, which the aircraft rescue firefighting services will be transferred to the airport in the restructuring of the county fire marshal's office.
Marshall Frazier brings more than 25 years of experience with Victoria County to his new role, and he steps in following the retirement of former Fire Marshal Richard Castillo. The city of Seadrift is working to grow its police force. The coastal town is looking to hire a full-time officer and fill 3 reserve positions. Police Chief Cheyenne Beaver says she's calling on anyone interested in law enforcement to step up and apply.
In a trial to find peace officers in today's day and age, everyone's shorthanded. So we have a lot to offer. We're not a 24-hour agency. We do pay fairly decent, in comparison to the area, and we really like to have, some more assets to our team.
For more details, contact the Seadrift Police Department at 361-785-2069. The last known American held hostage by Hamas, Adnan Alexander, is now back in the arms of his loved ones. A heartwarming reunion took place at a hospital in Tel Aviv where Alexander was reunited with his parents and other family members. The 21-year-old spent more than 580 days in captivity Alexander was freed in Gaza earlier Monday and handed over to Israeli forces. A case brought back into the spotlight by Hollywood is once again unfolding in a courtroom. The Menendez brothers are now facing a long-anticipated resentencing decades after their high-profile convictions.
Morning, the long-awaited resentencing hearing for the Menendez brothers begins in Los Angeles. Eric and Lyle were sentenced to life without parole for killing their parents in 1989, claiming it was self-defense after their father sexually abused them. The brothers' lawyers plan to call several witnesses to testify, including 7 family members who support their release.
They will be resentenced, and hopefully they will then go back to where they belong, which is where their family.
A former district attorney opened the door for the hearing when he requested the brothers' sentences be reduced. But District Attorney Nathan Hochman, who took office in December, opposes their release, arguing the brothers have not taken full responsibility.
What we have said consistently over the last several weeks is that the issue is not never for the resentencing of the Menendez brothers. We said it's not yet.
A major issue was whether to allow the brothers' recent risk assessment as evidence. According to Hochman, the brothers were assessed to have moderate risks of violence, increased from low risk because of recent prison rule violations, including Eric allegedly being caught smuggling a cell phone into prison.
January of 2025, when one would think you'd be on your best behavior because you want to convince the judge to take a chance on you and find your risk level so low he lets you out, that he was willing to bring an illegal cell phone into the jail.
According to Hochman, the risk assessment also revealed that Eric sold and used drugs in prison and helped a fellow inmate commit tax fraud. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code on your screen to take part. We want to know, should the Menendez brothers be released? 40% of you say yes and 60% of you say no. Thank you for taking part in our viewer poll. And remember to follow us on YouTube, Crosswords Today. Hit the like button and click that notification bell. The time is now, let's get a look at our clock up here. It's 6:37 on our Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. A local ranch is changing lives one ride at a time. How it's making a difference.
President Trump has landed in Saudi Arabia to kick off a 4-day trip visiting the Gulf states. I'm Christiane Cordero in Washington with the details coming up.
And also coming up next after the break in the short-term forecast, you heard me say it'd be a bit hot for the next few days. I mean, look at it. Yeah, it's going to be hot. So coming up next, I'll tell you just how hot I think it'll be near you. Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Taco Tuesday. You're once again looking live in that foggy corridor. Like I was talking about earlier, fog is starting to very, very slowly thicken up in some of our counties right now. Also very patchy in nature, so don't be worried if you don't see any of it at all on the roads this morning, because it's really patchy in our western counties where the winds are starting to lighten up a little bit. 3 miles an hour out of the south-southeast right now in Cuero, but we're starting out in very nice 67 degrees. That's going to be warming up over the next several days because of the winds. They're going to stay out of the Gulf, out of the south, I should say, for the next several days, and they're going to be a bit breezy as well. In the morning time today, not super breezy. Guster will be up to about 20 miles an hour, and you're going to see right here at noontime, I think the winds for the majority of the early afternoon time are going to be a little bit more of a westerly vector, like a south-southwest is where they're going to come out of. That's going to bring us the heat today, which we'll look at in a second. But the winds, like I was talking about, they're going to be gusting a little bit higher this afternoon, up to about 25 to 30 miles an hour. So make sure to secure any lightweight items you have outside. But like I was saying, it's going to bring us a hotter day. Already at noontime, going to be in the low 90s. Yesterday at noon, we were in the low mid 80s. So big change already. In the afternoon, though, here's the big change. Western and northern counties are going to have a good shot at seeing 100, maybe even the low 100s today. We're talking like 101, 102 in our western and northern counties. And Victoria, though, I'm thinking 95 for the high today, 99 in Cuero, and 89 in Port Lavaca. Before overnight, we'll drop lows into the warmer low 70s. But with a warmer morning, it's going to be a hotter day tomorrow on your Weather Wednesday. Western counties have a good shot at hitting the mid-hundreds. We're talking 104, 105, maybe even 106. And with those temperatures coupled with high humidity, decent high, we're going to look for heat indices up to 110 for some. And that's prompting heat advisories to be issued for some. So make sure to be practicing some good heat safety tips this week. Make sure to stay hydrated. Do that for the rest of this week because the 90s will continue. And we're going to look at all that coming up next.
President Trump arriving in Saudi Arabia this morning, kicking off the first of 3 stops on his 4-day Middle Eastern trip. And we also have more of 25 News Sports posted on crossroadstoday.com. And we also have our Crossroads Today Plus app that you can download on your connected TV. It's on your Amazon Fire TV, your Roku TV, your Android TV, and much more. You can also follow us on our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and you can get all the latest coverage and our news stories. And now we're going back to the Middle East, where the president has arrived.
This morning, Air Force One touched down in Saudi Arabia and at a major crossroads in how the U.S. does business. It's President Trump's first major foreign trip of his second term, a break from former presidents who typically made their first stop at traditional U.S. allies. When Trump was reelected, Saudi's Crown Prince promised a $600 billion investment in the U.S. The United Arab Emirates committed to a $1.4 trillion investment. Trump is scheduled to visit them later this week. His visit comes as the U.S. looks to rewrite trade deals with major trading partners, including China. The escalating reciprocal tariffs threatening steep markups on everything from clothing to car seats, now on pause for 90 days.
Investors got a much hoped for reprieve with some positive news in the trade front.
Also on Trump's schedule, a trip to Qatar, the president defending the $400 million luxury jet he wants to accept from Qatar's government, despite ethical, legal, and national security concerns.
I would never be one to turn down that kind of an offer. I mean, I could be a stupid person and say, no, we don't want a free, very expensive airplane.
Trump wants it to replace the smaller, aging Air Force One before it transfers to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation shortly before he leaves office in 2029. Democrats and some Republicans critical of the president's plan.
His shameless self-enrichment is without equal in American history.
I think it's not worth the appearance of impropriety. Whether it's improper or not, I don't think it's worth it.
The Constitution bans gifts from foreign heads of states. Attorney General Pam Bondi argues the arrangement with Qatar is legal, insisting it's not a bribe because the Qatari royal family won't get anything in return. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Majestic Animals are bringing extraordinary changes to children with special needs.
Nonprofit organization Grace Ranch offers lessons to children of all ages and abilities.
Grace Ranch is dedicated to helping children learn everything from the basics of riding to competing in rodeos and barrel races. But for many families, like the Carry-Ons, the impact goes much deeper. Courtney Carry-On's 6-year-old son, Maverick, has cerebral palsy, and horses have become a powerful part of his therapy.
It's shown in Maverick alone. I mean, his development from when he started horse riding out there to now, his core strength has improved significantly.
As Maverick rides, his strength improves, but it's the emotional growth that stands out the most.
It's definitely just really cool as a parent to see your son out there with these beautiful, majestic animals.
Grace Ranch is opening its gates and its heart to special needs and at-risk children. Through the gentle power of horses, they're creating a space where every child can feel strong, supported, and valued, one ride at a time.
Reporting from Victoria County, Ray Mosley, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.
Such an inspiring story. Thank you, Ray. Graduation season is here and we're celebrating the class of 2025. Today we congratulate Alana from Faith Academy. Congratulations to our precious granddaughter. We're so proud of you and excited to see all the amazing things your future holds. Shine on, girl, with love from Grandma and Grandpa. And congratulations to Carlos from Providence Christian Academy. Congratulations, Carlos. It's time to follow your dreams. That's from Tina. And congratulations to Hayden from Goliad High School. Hayden, we're so proud of you. Love you so much, from Nani and Popo. And congratulations to Matthew from Victoria ISD Success Academy. Congratulations, Matthew. We're so proud of you. Love from Momo, Popo, and family. Submit a photo and a heartfelt message for your grad through June 13th, and we'll feature our area grads on air and on social media. Go to our contest page at crossroadstoday.com, click the entertainment tab, then select contest to submit and show your pride. The time is now, let's get a look at our clock up here at 6:46 on our Tuesday morning. Still to come on Sunrise, the financial impact of the president's trade policies now coming into focus. All right, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Edward Cullen. Oh, I'm sorry, Robert Pattinson.
There you go.
The Batman actor is 39 today.
Oh yeah, he's a big Edward
He sparkles.
fan. Oh yeah, he does. Happy birthday, Robert Pattinson. And isn't he lovely? Isn't he wonderful? Happy birthday to Stevie Wonder. The musical pioneer is turning 75 today. Happy birthday, Stevie.
And I also want to wish Leah, Sharon, and Carrie a happy birthday.
Oh, that's sweet. Happy birthday, y'all. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, just head over to crossroadstoday.com. Click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see submit your birthday photo.
And the time is now 6:47 on our Tuesday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today, and if a friend is, submit that birthday wish.
That's right. Happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. If a lot of y'all just saw that 7-day forecast a few moments ago, or if you've been hearing me preaching about it all morning or all week long, I hope you know by now it's about to get a little hot out there. So I hope y'all stay hydrated this week. We're talking like July heat here in mid-May, so that's why I'm kind of stressing it a little bit much to y'all. 95, looking at your almanac today, 95 is what I'm thinking for the high here in Victoria, which is 9 degrees above where we should be. 86 about this time of year is the average, but 94 is our record high set back in 1980. So if we break that and get up to 95, where I think we will be, we're going to be breaking a record right here in Victoria. And the same in Cuero. Their record high today on May 13th is 98 degrees. I think they're going to get to 99 today. So y'all will be breaking a record today. And if you thought we were the only ones that's hot in South Texas, look at the rest of them. I think that says enough right there. But all that's going to lead me to today's weather poll. And today it's a weather quiz. In Cuero, what is the hottest temperature ever recorded in the month of May? And that's in Cuero. But it looks like the majority of y'all still, we got a two-way tie voting for 38%, voting for 102 degrees and 103 degrees. One of those is correct, and the correct answer is 103 degrees. That was set in May 8th, 2022. 103 degrees, and it's possible that we could get up to 102, 103 degrees around DeWitt County tomorrow, Wednesday, because if you thought it was hot today, let's press play and go into tomorrow. 112 degrees, possible along the Rio Grande, 110 in Del Rio. Can't believe that. That is absolutely intense for mid-May. And 108 still possible on Thursday. So I think that's enough for me to say the heat's going to continue. And I hope that's enough for y'all to stay hydrated this week. But I hope y'all stay hydrated all the way into this weekend and into next week, because high pressure, which will be bringing us the heat with air sinking downward to the ground, trapping the land heated air, that is going to keep us a little bit hot all the way into next week. But there is a silver lining to the high pressure that will keep us safe in the tropics, to which there's still a 10% chance something may form right here and head out into the Pacific. And we're going to look at all of that and more later on Sunrise.
A new report shows that President Trump's tariffs are boosting the country's finances. According to the Treasury Department, more than $16 billion was collected in tariffs this April, setting a new record for the month. That's also $7.5 billion more than what was collected in March. Since taking office, the president's tariffs have brought in nearly $38 billion in revenue. Goldman Sachs now reducing its prediction for a U.S. recession following an agreement between the U.S. and China to significantly cut tariffs. In a note to clients Monday, Goldman Sachs now estimates a 35% chance of a recession in the next year, down from its previous 45% forecast. The investment bank has also raised its annual GDP growth forecast to 1%. Goldman Sachs expects the Federal Reserve to begin lowering interest rates starting in December. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. A critical situation at Newark Liberty and what's being done to fix it. Technical issues continue at Newark Liberty Airport with as few as 3 air traffic controllers handling flights Monday night. United Airlines says its procedures can manage the situation and praised the Department of Transportation's plan to upgrade control systems and increase staffing. The Trump administration is ending a form of humanitarian relief for Afghan nationals living in the U.S. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says conditions in Afghanistan have improved enough for people to return home. The decision could affect nearly 12,000 Afghans living in the U.S. One advocacy group, Afghan EVAC, has called the move a betrayal of those who risked their lives for America. The U.S. has announced a $1.4 billion weapons sale to the United Arab Emirates. The deal includes $1.3 billion worth of Chinook helicopters, along with parts and support for F-16 fighter jets valued at $130 million. The UAE has also committed to investing over $1 trillion over the next decade. Doctors found a small nodule on the former president's prostate. The discovery was made during a routine exam, though the cause of the nodule remains unclear. A prostate nodule can result from cancer, infection, or inflammation. Former President Joe Biden had a physical at Walter Reed National Military Center last February, where doctors confirmed he was fit to serve. While President Trump's trade war is easing, it will still affect American families. New research from Yale University's Budget Lab reveals that 20 to 25% tariffs will raise prices by nearly 2% in the short term, costing the average middle-class household over $2,200 a year. That's a decrease from the group's earlier estimate of $3,400 per year in mid-April. The Democratic National Committee is calling for a do-over. Back in February, the DNC held elections to select a new chair and 3 vice chairs, with Parkland shooting survivor David Hogg winning a spot. However, the party chairman says a procedural error occurred during the election. On Monday, the DNC's Credentials Committee voted to hold a new election. The issue centers on whether vice chairs are allowed to support primary challengers. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And now let's get a look at a magnificent sunrise over the water with Parker. It's so beautiful out there.
That is right. Look how pretty the sunrise is over the coast this morning. And look at all the colors. And actually, it might be too bright. Let me stand in the way of that. A little bit bright this morning, but it is also very warm and humid. And another morning that the station's not working. But right now, it's about 72, 73 degrees right now in Port Lavaca. And we are very humid this morning, to which we do have a very light layer of patchy fog forming around some of our inland counties this morning. So make sure to be careful if you see any of that on the roads this morning. Otherwise, that'll burn off like about the time it usually does, between 8 to 8:30, down to some sunny skies like you can see in the background here in Port Lavaca. Beaming Texas sun today, going to bring us up to 89 for the high in Port Lavaca. Also a bit breezy in the afternoon time, with gusts for all up to about 30 miles an hour at times. And Victoria, a little bit hotter today under that sunshine. 95 I'm thinking today, and a bit hotter than that in Cuero. I'm thinking 99, and you can actually see just that fog I was talking about in Cuero. So just be careful on the roads this morning, but be more careful with the heat this week, because it's going to be with us all week long, with highs in the mid 90s and some in our western counties, like I said, in the low 100s. So please stay hydrated.
I'm already planning an outfit change. Thank you, Parker.
Do it, definitely.
And thank y'all for being with us. Join Shauna, Dawn, Maclovio, and Max today for 25 News Now, 5, 6, and 10. Have a great day.